utilizing responsive and appropriate pedagogies. Dahil na, excuse me. Alright, so dahil alam na nga natin yung 21st century classroom, 21st century skills, malaman, that we use in teaching is called as pedagogy. Okay, so it involves active activities that evokes changes in the learner. Okay, so sabi natin nga kanina, learning is, the manifestation of learning is a change in behavior. And definitely, if we are using pedagogy, it involves activities that evoke changes in the learner. It is a conscious activity by one person designed to enhance learning in another. Okay? Now, in K to 12 or in the basic education, and today, as of the moment, we are using several pedagogical approaches. So we have the 2C, 2IR. Ano pag sinabi natin 2C, 2IR? Pag sinabi natin 2C, 2IR, we have the constructivist, collaborative approach, we have integrative, inquiry-based, and reflective approach. So isa-isahin po natin yan. Unahin natin ay yung constructivism approach. Ano pag sinabi natin constructivism approach? So it allows the learners to be active in the process of constructing meaning and knowledge rather than possibly receiving information. So from the word itself, constructivism, we are actually liberating or allowing our students to construct their own meanings, be exposed with activities that allow them to discover meaning out of the content you will be teaching. Okay, so it fosters critical thinking and provides students with a learning environment that helps them make connections with the learning. Let's put it this way. Instead of discussing students about the natural boundaries of Asia, ang ginawa mo ay you ask them to draw a map about the boundaries in Asia. In that sense, naiwasan mo lang mag-discuss, ang mga bata, sila ang nag-discover by means of drawing a map. That's what, instead of plainly discussing the photosynthesis, you ask your students to go outside and observe. And then after that, write something about what they have observed. And that's constructivism. Why? Because you allow your students to actively engage in learning. Okay? So what are the example of task in constructivism approach? Well, now we have outcomes-based performance. So when we say outcomes-based performance, you design a performance task that leads to the generation of an outcome or output. Okay? Next one is project exhibit. Okay, nagpa-exhibit yung mga project ng mga bata, yung kanilang output, ipina-exhibit mo. The next one could also be a laboratory experiment, commonly used in science. The next one is, we can also ask our students to utilize multiple intelligences. Halimbawa, instead of asking your student to plainly report the topic, you divide the class into several groups and ini-assign mo, o sino gustong sumayaw, sino gustong kumanta, sino gustong tumula. You utilize multiple intelligences, based on their own, based on the preference of your Alright. I'm back. Pasensya na ha. Next is collaborative approach. Ano naman ang pag sinabi natin na collaborative approach? From the word itself, collaborative, meaning to say students will be collaborating. They may be working in pairs or in groups. So pagdating collaborative approach, it requires learners to work together towards a common goal. Brainstorming is one of the examples of collaborative approach. Thank you. So this type of learning has been called in various names like, say for example, collective learning, learning communities, peer teaching, peer learning, or team learning. Okay? So pag sinabi natin collaborative approach, simple lang. Ano pinagkaiba ni constructivist kay collaborative? Si collaborative, ang focus ay collaboration. Si constructivist, ang focus niya ay generation of new meaning. Okay? Ah, okay. Now, in this approach, learners engage in a common task in which each individual depends on and is accountable to each other. Okay, what are the tasks in collaborative approach? So we have project presentation or action research, pwede rin peer tutoring, teaching jigsaw method, yung tipong halimbawa ay may groups na nagwo-work. Pwede rin bang think, pair, share. It could either also be a debate. And syempre, pwedeng demonstration. Okay? That's collaborative approach. So anong pinagkaiba? In this approach kasi, students are working in a common task. Meaning to say, halimbawa, ang isang grupo ay binubuo ng ang isang grupo ay binubuo ng 5 mag-aaral. Definitely, they are working on the same on the common task, on the same task. At sila ay magkasama. Okay, that's the heart of collaboration. The next one is integrative approach. Ano naman pag sinabi natin integrative approach? Now, in this approach, we are actually combining concepts of different nature. Say, for example, the concepts in English are used in delivering the content in social studies or vice versa. That's integrative approach. Okay, so in integrative approach, it describes a movement towards integrated lesson, helping students make connections across curricula. Okay, so it incorporates making connections with a major between curriculum, co-curriculum, and between academic knowledge and practice. So let's put it this way. Halimbawa, ituturo ko ang nationalismong Asyano. Instead of just plainly discussing nationalismo ng Asyano, anong ginawa ko? Nationalismo sa Asya. Ang ginawa ko, pinagawa ko ng tula ang mga bata. Pinagawa ko ng painting. Pinagawa ko ng sayaw, ng jingle. It's actually an integrative approach. Why? Because I incorporated the skills in music, arts, and PE. Pwede din naman halimbawa, nagtuturo ako ng grammar and ng basic grammar, subject-verb agreement sa aking mga estudyante. How can I use integrative approach there? Pwedeng halimbawa, I ask my students to write an essay about, say for example, Asian nationalism using proper subject-verb agreement. O, ibig sabihin, may integration din. Although I'm teaching English, the sub the content of the essay that I will be asking my student is related to social studies. That's integrative approach. What are the examples of integrative approach? Pwedeng scaffold learning integration. Kung sinabi natin scaffold by and by, unti-unti, tapos integrate ang iba't ibang subject. Okay? Pwedeng content-based instruction, yung tipong halimbawa, we are working on a common theme, tapos doon i-integrate ang ibang learning areas. Pwede rin thematic teaching. Okay, so kumbaga, working on teams. Halimbawa, English, Math, Science, TLE, and other learning areas. Ito ang theme natin for this week. So, ang inyong turo or ang concept na inyong ituturo must be revolving around this theme. Pwede rin naman ay design or design thinking. Yung tipong you tend to work backwards. Ibig sabihin, the outcomes first. And then after that, saka mo i-allow ang mga bata na mag-discover ng meaning at mag-generate ng output out of that. Alright, so the next one naman, kung yun ay si integrative, so we have three na already. Constructivist, collaborative, and integrative approach. The fourth one is inquiry-based approach. Ano naman pag sinabi natin inquiry-based approach? So it is an approach of acquiring or obtaining information through investigation carried out by the learners who are eager to know the phenomenon in the question. One of the example of inquiry-based approach is this. Would you want your students to understand the effects of sunlight on the growth of ginawa mo, pinag-experiment mo ang bata, yung munggo. Naggawa ka ng controlled variable. Yung tipong halimbawa, yung isa ay in-expose mo sa sunlight, yung isa ay nasa room lamang, nasa kwarto lang. Ano tingnan kung alin ang mas lumalaki, yung bang may expose sa sunlight o yung hindi. That's an example of inquiry-based approach. Okay, so it is used to engage learners of all ages to learn by exploration and discovery. As learners investigate, they build understanding and create meaning on a certain content or topic. So the process of inquiry begins with gathering information through the senses by means of seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, or smelling. What are the examples of this task? For inquiry, now we have formal or informal observation, pwede rin mock discussion or conferences, yung kunwari ang conference, pwede rin namang portfolio and self-reflection, pwede din namang peer and self-assessment. Okay. Now, how about reflective approach, the last one? From the word itself, reflective, it focuses on reflection, how students make meaning out of what they have learned. It means that looking on what the teacher and learners do in the classroom, thinking about what they do, and analyze about if it works. Okay? So the strategy incorporates the processes of self-evaluation and self-observation. And one of the examples of reflective approach is through journaling. Yung tipong araw-araw nagsusulat sa journal ng mga bata, and then parang diary, they are sharing what they have learned, kung saan sila nahirapan, alin ang nagustuhan nila sa bahagi ng klase na kanilang inatendan. Okay, what are the sample learning tasks? Pwede diary or journal presentation as what I have mentioned. Pwede ring paper writing, pwede ring reports, it could also be self-reflection and narratives. Okay, now, do you have any question regarding this pedagogical approaches? None so far. Okay, thank you. Next, kung alam natin yung pedagogical approaches, now, how about integration of technology in teaching? Ano namang meron sa integration of technology in teaching? Now, this is the task. You have to think of an instance, right? So I'm giving you 3 minutes to answer this. Okay, so before we proceed, this will be the task. I'd like you to think of an instance or an example in which technology is evident in teaching. Okay? Bigyan niyo ako ng isang halimbawa na ang technology ay evident or nakikita sa pagtuturo. Okay, so type it in the comment section. Okay, and your 3 minutes starts now. Okay, so let's see nga. Tingnan nga natin. Alright. Let me go on with the comments. Yun, evident daw. Halimbawa ay using PowerPoint presentation, TV, laptop, and internet. Using PPT as an aid in presenting the lesson. That could be, sabi ni Sir Jovan, distance learning by utilizing network communication platform. Say for example, Google Classroom, pwede rin Genio, pwede LMS as powered by Diva, or LMS as powered by Creeper, something like that. Pwede rin use of educational apps, pwede rin namang we continue pursuing learning and quality education using different technology apps or virtual classes. Pwede rin utilizing educational tools, apps at like Google Meet, Google Drive, Google Classroom. Okay? So all of you have actually the same perception when it comes to the integration of technology in teaching. But remember this, guys. Technology integration is different from technology utilization. A teacher may utilize technology but not integrate it in the lesson. It's two different things. Okay? Halimbawa, gumagamit ako ng PowerPoint sa pagtuturo. That's actually technology utilization. I am just utilizing the technology and I am not integrating it. Did you get the point? Halimbawa naman, I ask my students to, say for example, uh, I'm teaching the geography of the Philippines. Okay, and our topic is the natural, bodies of water in the Philippines. So instead of just asking them to identify the bodies of water in the Philippines, I asked them to create a promotional video about the bodies of water in the Philippines and then upload it in social media. That is technology integration. Pero kung halimbawa nagpakita lang ako ng mga picture ng bodies of water sa mga bata, tapos ang gamit kay PowerPoint, it's not technology integration. I am just utilizing technology in teaching. Now, what is the difference between technology integration and technology utilization? Very good. Sabi ni Sir, giving activities and letting them post it. Simply put, if we are using technology, if we are to define the term technology integration, we are actually incorporating technology in the teaching and learning process. Pero if we are just we are just utilizing technology, we are just simply um, use technology devices while we are delivering the lesson. They are two different things. Okay? They don't mean the same. Okay, now the question is, how can we ensure technology integration? So we'll be having social media for 21st century learners. Very good. Yung utilization ng LMS or Learning Management System, that's an example of technology integration. No. But in this, let's look at this way. We have social media for 21st century learners. Ang ating titingnan ngayon ay ang paggamit ng social media para sa mga 21st century learners. And let's see how social media can be integrated in teaching and learning. Sabi, the world is getting bigger yet smaller. Now, from this quotation, sa tingin nyo, dear participants, what do we mean by this? The world is getting bigger yet smaller. What does it mean? Anyone? And try to relate it to technology. Sabi natin, bakit daw lumawak ang daigdig? The world is getting bigger. However, it becomes smaller. Bakit daw kaya? Let's look at the way technology impacts our educational system. Okay? Bakit getting bigger? Kasi through the use of internet and technology, we're able to reach the globe. No, we're able to, very good, si Miss Princess Nika. Okay, through the use of that, because of technology, the world becomes bigger, yet smaller. Bigger in a sense that we have a wide range of audiences. We could reach out to many people as much as we can. We can reach out to other people from different parts of the globe. Diba? And that makes our horizon bigger. It makes our world bigger. On the other hand, it's smaller because in just a split second, we could reach out to our family members from different parts of the world. Diba? We reach out to other people because by means of using technology, we can easily reach out to people. Diba? Kaya really, technology makes the world bigger yet smaller. Now, social media are actually interactive and di ba sabi natin, the world is getting bigger yet smaller and it is possible through internet. And what avenue are we using? It's actually social media. Ay ano ba pag sinabi natin social media? All right. Okay. Thank you, sir, for that idea. Social media are actually interactive computer-mediated technologies that aid the creation and sharing of information, ideas, and creation and career interests and other forms of expression via virtual communities and networks. Ito ang ating tatanong. Ito kasi kadalasan na nagiging problema ng karamihan that we don't know the real purpose and social media. Kasi when we're referring to social media, these are actually computer-mediated technologies, mga teknolohiya or platform that is computer-mediated or any device na nakaka-connect sa internet ang in order for us to share information, ideas, and career interests, not to use it in any other agenda. So we are using social media to share and communicate ideas, interests, and express ourselves by means of virtual communities. And the social networks actually have different types, and we have social networking sites. Ano pag sinabi nating social networking sites? So it's an online platforms which uses which use to build social network or social relation with other people who share similar personal or career interests, activities, backgrounds, or real life connections. What do you think are the examples of social networking sites that we have now at the moment? Ano yung mga kadalasang social networking sites na meron tayo? Yeah, very good. Facebook, TikTok, yeah, the most common, TikTok. Ang nagamit natin, yeah, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, yeah, Twitter. We also have Skype, anything that would allow us to reach out to other people virtually and make us aware of and make us capable of sharing our interests, activities, and backgrounds can be considered as social networking site. Ano? So now, look at this. This is actually the digital data in the Philippines. Imagine, the total population in the Philippines as of 2018 is 105.7 million. And of that 105.7 million, the internet users are 67 million. Diba? And then from that, ang active social media users, these internet users, are actually all active social media users. Meaning to say, yung 67 million, lahat yun ay active social media users. And from that, 61 million out of 67 million ang may unique mobile users. Meaning to say, hindi yung dalawang device na ginagamit, hindi yung tatlo. Okay. And then, 62 million naman out of 67 are active mobile social users. Meaning, the Philippines is actually among the countries in the world who are top users of the internet. If we are in that context and if we are in that scenario, syempre, what is its impact to education? Are we going to consider it as an opportunity or a challenge? On the other hand, it may be challenging because students are getting exposed to things which are not supposed to be exposed to them. Pero on the positive side, we can use it as platform in educating our learners. We could use it as avenue to further augment our inside the classroom. Okay. Now, look at this. Sabi natin, ang Philippines is among the countries who have strong internet connection. Okay. Not strong internet connection, online users rather. Now, given those facts, pwede ba na magamit natin can we take advantage of that scenario sa education? The answer would be yes. Those information telling us that the Philippines is among the countries who are uh, exposed to internet and are active social media users can be used as avenue and platforms for education. Okay? So we have other forms of social media. We have the web blog. Ano pang sinabi nating web blog? Okay? So ito kasi kadalasan yung mga pinupuntahan ng mga bata na mga sites, reverse chronological orders. So blogs can be hosted for free on websites such as WordPress, Tumblr, and Blogger. Pag sinabi natin web blog, kung mapapansin dulo. Okay? Ganun yun. Okay? Yung WordPress, tama, WordPress. Yung wikis naman, it's a collective website such as Wikipedia, which participants are allowed to create a new page using a browser. Okay, so actually, you could edit your name in Wikipedia. You could include your name in Wikipedia. Na gusto mo pag i-search ng mga bata ang pangalan mo, nandun ang background mo, you can do that. And sabi ng mga nakakarami, ay harmful daw ang paggamit ng Wikipedia kasi na-edit daw, hindi daw valid ang information. Okay? Ako naman, personally, I don't have any problem with Wikipedia. That's why there are other avenues pa. If we get information from the Wikipedia, the next thing to do is to validate it. Right? Diba? Ibig sabihin, hindi naman ibig sabihin na ikaw ay nagamit ng internet, ay you will solely rely on that source or on that reference. Definitely, kapag gumagamit ka noon, dapat yung binavalidate din. Kung sa tingin mo sa research mo ay at least 3 to 5 individuals agreed to the same idea, then that information is valid. Okay? Pero kung hindi naman, pwede hanap ng iba. Okay? So again, tayo sa IMT, yung literacy skills, yung access to information, the way we evaluate the information that we generated from the internet. Okay? Next, number 3 would be social bookmarking. Ano naman pag sinabi natin social bookmarking? So bookmarking sites allow allow users to organize and share links to website. This enables users to produce a searchable, personalized internet. Halimbawa, yung stumble upon at dig. At yung panghuli ay status update services. At ito yung kasahang ginagamit ng mga kabataan. Also known as microblogging, status update services such as Twitter allow people to share short updates about people or events, to see updates, tweet, and okay, so yan. So yun yung kadalasan mga ginagamit ng ating mga mag-aaral. Now, the question is, what for? What's the sense? And how do we use this? Okay? So let's talk about the impact of social media to 21st century learners. Sabi natin, given the fact that there are new reforms in education, and technology is integration is one of the reforms in education. Ang tanong, how can we use these reforms in education to refine our teaching skills? So, maaari kasing karamihan sa atin sasabihin, hindi ko tanggap na gumamit ng social media sa pagtuturo kasi harmful. Maaari namang, gusto ko kasi mas maganda, mas malawak ang ma-reach out. Even though we have those different perceptions, yun ay sa atin lamang perspective sa paraan ng pagtanggap natin sa bagay-bagay. Siyempre, if you were able to establish that this integration will only be used for academic purpose, and then there's no problem with that. It depends on how we see things, okay? Now, let's talk about the benefits of social media in learning. Okay? Ano ba ang meron sa social? Ano ba ang benefits na makukuha natin sa social media? At kapag ginamit natin ito sa pagtuturo, una, it gives us wider and greater access to basic information. Admit it or not, in just a single click or in just a single type of an information you want to know, meron ka na agad. Diba? Halimbawa, na-curious ka, may sipon ka, tapos may panlasa ka naman, pero wala kang pang-amoy. O i-search mo agad sa Google, lalabas na agad ang sagot. Ang daming options. So in just a single click, nagkakaroon ng wider access to information. Yung dating information na limited lang sa library, ngayon hindi na. Mas madali. Di ba dati, way back during our time, bago pa tayo makakompleto ng 2 pahina na research paper, ay ilang libro na ang nabasa natin sa library. Pero ngayon ay hindi. In just 2 minutes, meron agad. Kasi available sa internet. Okay? Next, number 2, efficient and effective way of disseminating information. Kasi nga sabi natin, through technology, the world is getting bigger. And through that, we could effectively disseminate or spread information. Yun nga lamang, we have to be careful of the information we are sharing. Okay? Next, number 3, allow us to learn through various available online platforms. Minsan kasi may instance na ang bata hindi naunawaan ang discussion sa klase, yung ginawa, nanood na sa YouTube. Kaya sa YouTube or sa kung saan mang sites na maaaring makatulong sa kanya, it allows them to learn through various available platforms. Sa YouTube, madaming tutorial. Halimbawa, nakalimutan kong aralin kung paano kino-compute ang Cronbach Alpha. Hindi ako nakapakinig sa aking teacher. Ipitype ko lamang sa internet at sa YouTube. Yun, may tutorial na. See? It allows us to learn in multiple ways. The next is number 4. It fosters further collaboration among and between learners. Yung tipo, halimbawa, may lecture taga sa science, okay naman. Pa-share naman ang lecture mo sa PE. So, nakikita. Okay, so ano nangyayari? It fosters collaboration among and between learners. At yung group chat ngayon ay gamit na gamit. Yung tipong halos lahat ng subject ay may group chat. I admit it, kung titingnan nyo ngayon ang aking cellular phone, ang laman niya ay puro group chat ng mga estudyante ko. group chat ng section 1 sa research, section 2 sa research, section 3 hanggang sa ilang section na tinuturuan ko. Yun na lang ang nagpapaikot ng buhay ko, yung mga section ng GC. Why? Kasi nga, dahil modular ang aming modality, yun ang avenue para makapag-communicate kami sa mga bata. Okay? So, yun. In that sense, social media becomes useful. Next, number 5. It teaches learners to gather data and information systematically. Okay? Through social media, they're aware of the things that they have to consider when writing or when searching information. And syempre, dyan ulit papasok yung tinatawag natin na IMT, Information, Media, and Technology Literacy. Number 6, it helps learners to get to know each other better. As it says, may mga batang mahiyain sa personal, sa Facebook may hindi. Yung tipong may mga instances na may isang estudyante na takot magpakilala or takot kausapin yung kaklase or nahihiyang kausapin yung kaklase. Pero ang ginagawa sa Facebook niya, kinakausap or sini-search, which also allows them to get to know each other. At saka minsan I experienced this, yung kapag in-accept mo as a friend ang bata mo o ang estudyante mo ang gagawin niyan, ibabrowse ang account mo hanggang sa kadulu-duluhan ay titingnan. Kaya ako'y nagkamali dati, may na-accept akong isang estudyante kasi siya ay aking class secretary. So, syempre, I am constantly communicating with her regarding the announcement, etc. Ngayon, accidentally na-accept ko ang kanyang friend request kasi nag-appear sa aking notifications. Abay, all of a sudden, nalabas itong aking mga sinaunang pictures. Yung picture before my glow up, bago ako mag-glow up, o bago maging, sadya naman tayo nadaan doon sa panahon na tayo ay may kadugyutan pa. Abay, nalabas yung mga gayong picture. Yan pala, kapag inilalike ng bata, yung picture ay nag-a-appear ulit sa labas na halimbawa ay yung tapos like your picture na somehow, bakit lumabas? Yung pala yung nilike. Why? Because ini-stalk ng bata, tinitingnan nila yung kanyang background. Kaya ako, wala namang problema, i-accept as friend ang mga bata sa inyong social media accounts. Pero ako, from that experience, ang ginawa ko ay never na akong nag-a-accept ng friend request ng mga estudyante ko. Saka ko ina-accept ang kanilang friend request kapag sila ay graduate or kapag hindi ko na estudyante. Okay. So, that's number 6. Number 7, it allows learners to share their insights online. Through social media, nakakapagka-share ng insights ang mga bata. Actually, I created a page for my students. It's called as Quantitative Research of Buhay na Sapa National High School. It's a public group. And then, I posted there the materials. Tapos yung mga bata nagdi-discuss, nagtatanong-tanong sa comment section, which is great. Now, number 8, it facilitates online learning and support groups. As you can see on the page, meron ako mga pinapost about handouts too. Qualitative versus quantitative research, handouts 1, strengths and weaknesses of quantitative research. And then ang estudyante, they are reacting, and then and syempre, they can download the file. Kasi yung mga files na iyan are examples of files which are actually supporting or supplementary files para sa napagtalakayan namin. And napakaganda ng social media if we are aware on how to maximize them or how to maximize their use. Number 9, it also provides extension for a classroom discussion. Look at this. So, for example, we have the material. And after that, do sa comment, mayroong mga interaction. Sabi ni Ms. Mary Guico, quasi-experimental research is blah, 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 blah. Okay? So, it also provides an avenue for extension of classroom discussion. Okay? Siyempre, number 10, it serves as benchmark of best practices. Kasi through social media, we're able to share our practices na maaaring ma-adapt ng ibang paaralan. Look at this post. This post was in September 27, 2016, I think, or 17. Okay, I posted this. Just want to share this wonderful and meticulously made improvised trash using empty plastic bottles. Kudos to grade 12 young students of Buhay na Sapa NHS. These are part of the course requirements for community engagement, citizenship, and solidarity. Truly proud of you guys. Keep it up. Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga basurahan na yan, they are made of plastic bottles ng water. Empty plastic bottles ng water. Ngayon, dahil nga may subject kaming community engagement, I asked my learners to gather all the plastic bottles na makikita nila sa daan at sa paligid without knowing them without informing them what they will be doing. And then after nung nakarami na kami ng plastic bottles, pinabuo ko sa kanilang basurahan. Ako, yung basura ay gawin yung basurahan. And then they're able to come up with this. So meron kaming sponge beans, merong plankton, merong angry beans, merong minion, right? So madami yan. At ang ginawa namin, dinistribute namin yan sa community. And being a proud teacher of my student for that output, ipinost ko sa Facebook. After posting it sa Facebook, may mga school na nag-adapt na ginaya yung project, and yun, nakakatuwa. With that single post made an impact to other people. In that sense, it serves as benchmark of our practice. Kumbaga na-adapt nila at hindi nasayang yung post. Meaning to say, I was able to utilize social media as a form of advocacy avenue. Okay? Now, what are the problems naman? Given the fact that those are the advantages of using social media in teaching, what are the problems naman? Talagang kahit lahat naman ng bagay may sariling advantages and disadvantages. So bilang guro, we have to be aware of the problems and issues in utilizing social media. Ano ang una? Academic dishonesty and plagiarism. Ito ang kadalasang nagiging problema talaga natin. Especially kapag ang mga bata ay nagsasubmit ng outputs, most of them are actually just merely copying and pasting what they have searched from the internet. Yung iba na hindi pa nabasa. No. Kaya as much as possible, always require your students to read the material that they will be submitting. Kasi minsan, basta na lang yung kinokopya ng bata. And as teachers, we have to also be critical in evaluating the works of our students. Kung unang sentence pa lamang ay nakita mo na may problema nga sa bata, sa kanyang output, ibalik mo na sa kanya at ipaayos mo. Okay? So kasi minsan, kapag ang bata ay nasanay sa ganung bagay, madadala niya yun kahit saan. Napakasakit na alam natin gano'n ang bata, hindi natin na-correct. Hindi natin na-itama yung kanyang pagkakamali. But there are several tools that allows us to check the originality of the work of our students. We have Turnitin, diba? Pwedeng, Grammarly, pwedeng yung Killbot, meron din tayong online plagiarism checker, or maaaring turuan natin ang mga bata na gumamit ng mga online applications that would allow them to paraphrase sentences. Wala namang problema doon. Yung Killbot and other online applications that would allow them to paraphrase a word, a paragraph. Wala namang problema doon kung yun ay nakakatulong. Pero lagi ipapaalala natin sa mga bata na hindi lahat minsan kasi kapag ipinaparaphrase, nag-iibang meaning, so it would be better that after paraphrasing, ay maaral din nila or mabasa din nila. That's the first academic dishonesty, which is very rampant. Number 2, unregulated use may lead to wastage of time. Maaari kasi kung sobrang exposed sa social media or sa technology ang bata, yung tipong oras na dapat ng ipag-aaral ay nagagamit pa sa walang kabunasang bagay or walang hindi mahalagang bagay gamit o kaya sa pag-Facebook or pag-internet. Or maaari din naman magiging sabi ng procrastination. Yung tipong, kaya ko naman yan later na lang. Hula ay may pina-follow pa na post, something like that. It's number 2. Number 3, yeah, manana habit. Number 3 could be causes of distraction in studying, really. Yung tipong halip na makafocus, ang nangyayari ay nagiging sanhi pa ng distraction sa pag-aaral. Okay? Yung tipong na halip na mag-aral ngayon or halip na mag-focus sa mga assignments, hindi. At ang pag-chat ang inuuna, pag mobile legends or kung ano man, walang problema naman sa paggamit ng mga applications and social networking sites. Ang problema kapag kinain na noon ng sistema mo. As much as possible, we have to encourage our students to at least be mindful of their time and be careful in utilizing social media. Yung tipong halimbawa, mag-set ng oras at boundaries or limitations. Next, it could also be the cause of cyberbullying. Yung tipong hindi, without your permission and knowledge, without you knowing, nagagamit ang picture mo sa bullying, sa walang kabunasan, ang tawag dito sa Tagalog. Walang kasaysayang bagay. Na nagiging dahilan para at least para pagtawanan o maging tampulan ng tukso. Okay? Dapat ituro natin sa bata yung mga yan. Na hindi maganda ang cyberbullying. And we have to inculcate the value of sympathy. Isipin nila kung ating ipaunawa sa bata na isipin mo kung ikaw ang nasa posisyon ng taong iyan, how would you feel? Okay? The next one is may lead to social and emotional problems. Some of the maaaring ang exposure ng bata sa social media may cause depression or anxieties kasi kung ano-anong nakikita sa social media. And the worst ay maging sabi ng emotional problem. It could also be cause of identity theft and fraud. Kaya as much as possible, huwag nating i-post ang mga personal information natin sa internet. Yung tipong dahil first salary mo at kumita ka ng 15 mil sa kalahati ng buwan, ipinost mo ang iyong sahod pati ATM at kita ang number ng ATM ay sayang. Hindi patay kang bata ka. As much as possible, we have to protect our personal information and identity. Do not, if you cannot make the personal information private, do not post it instead. No. Okay lang naman maglagay ng personal information sa inyong mga social media accounts for as long as it will stay private. Okay? Another thing, maaari din kasi yung mga post natin ng mga anak natin, ng mga kapatid natin na baby, yung hindi rin dapat natin masyadong pinagpo-post sa Facebook. No, halimbawa, yung picture ng ating mga eskwela, dahil natuwa tayo maganda ang kanilang ginawa, at picture ng mga eskwela ay ating pinost. Hindi pwede yun kasi that's data privacy. Another thing, halimbawa, yung cards, yung grade ng inyong anak sa card, natuwa ka at mga line of 9, pinost mo, hindi rin dapat kasi we have this data privacy. Number 7, it could also be the cause of the spread of fake news and unreliable information in news. No, yung tipong ako'y minsan ay nabiktima na rin yan. Yung tipong, wala na naman palang kuryente bukas. Kasi ang Batangas is under Batilec, yung Batangas Electric Cooperative. And then, dati kasi nagkaroon ng power interruption every Saturday. Ngayon, last month, may post nakalagay ay power interruption on Saturday kasama ang aming barangay. Ay di sinabi ko na sa amin siya, mag-charge kayo ng cellphone at wala daw kuryente bukas. And then nung chinecheck ko yung post, yun pala yung last year pa. Hindi pala ngayon. So, ibig sabihin, I am a victim of fake news. Pero kasalanan ko kasi I did not verify the information. So as much as possible sa ating i-inculcate yun na hindi lahat na nakikita mo sa social media ay tama. If there is an information about something, you have to verify it first. You have to check the source of the information and who are the one who publish the post and the likes. No, basta yun. As much as possible, kung kita natin na fake news yun, wag na nating ipalagana pa. At sa ating end ay putulin na para at least hindi na makarating pa sa ibang tao. Okay. And that's why it is important for us to develop media and information literacy. Diba, sabi natin kanina, we have information, media, and technology literacy. Actually, that's it. It enables people to interpret and make informed judgment as users of information and media, as well as to become skillful creators and producers of information and media messages in their own right. So when we say media and information literacy, it actually capacitates a person to responsibly use the available media and information. Okay? And we can't avoid those problems by means of having this netiquette. Ano mo pag sinabi natin netiquette? It's a combination of the words network and etiquette and is defined as set of rules for acceptable online behavior. Similarly, online ethics focuses on acceptable use of online resources in an online social environment. So look at this way. What we are having right now is an online seminar, right? A virtual seminar. And what you are practicing is called as netiquette, how you behave during the webinar. At nakakatuwa naman na unlike the webinars before, may mga basta na lang nag-unmute ng microphone and on. Ngayon ay wala, which is great. At ang tawag doon sa mga proper decorum and practices you are doing in using online platforms is netiquette. Yung simpleng pagpo-post natin sa Facebook would also mean a lot. So we have to be careful. Okay? Yung ating pagtatag sa ating mga kaibigan, yung ating pag-share ng mga posts, yung ating pag-like ng mga posts, you have careful. Kasi baka hindi na ethical yung ating ginagawa or hindi nakatanggap-tanggap yung ating binabasa at ini-share. Let us remember this. Do not say or do online what you would not do or say offline. Kung hindi mo kaya gawin yan sa personal, at hindi mo kaya gawin sa personal, hindi mo muna gawin online. Okay? Now, do you have any question po so far? None, sir. Ay, okay lang ba that we'll take 15 minutes break? Okay lang na mag-break tayo ng 15 minutes? We'll be back again. Okay, so we'll have 15 minutes break. It's actually 3:40. Babalik tayo ng 5 minutes before 4 p.m. Okay? 5 minutes before 4 p.m. babalik po tayo. See you. Sana po ang narito, kung sino po yung narito ngayon ay makabalik din po mamayang 4 p.m. Okay? Kasi what we will be talking about is education amid COVID-19 pandemic. Okay? So, sige po, let's have a 15-minute break. Thank you.